your kind of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, psychiatric evaluation ordered for 26-year-old Barkley Allen, the man accused of torturing his grandmother's house here in Orange Walk. Security guard at Technical High School comes face-to-face with gunman. Belize sees an overall national inflation rate of 6.6% on goods and services for the month of January. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Wednesday, February 22nd, 2023.
I am ready. You are getting the new and improved me. This is nice.
I think what really impressed him was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
Bring on the start up the gunfire! Weapon down!
It's about a relationship that hopefully many people can relate to.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Hello? Velma Dinkley speaking.
Hello, Velma. Do you like solving mysteries?
Yeah, but I'm actually much more three-dimensional than that. Who is this?
That's the mystery. And solve it quick, because I'm in your house.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Last night proved to be a frightful one for a security guard who was on duty. Victor Torres, who works at the Orange Walk Technical High School, was inside the school station booth when at around 1:45 a.m. he heard the dogs barking. When he made checks, he met face-to-face with an armed male individual dressed in a black sweater with hoodie and wearing mask. As the criminal pointed what appeared to be a 9mm pistol at Torres, he demanded that door of the booth be opened. But just before the situation escalated, the QRT mobile was passing by the area and Torres managed to shout for help. This triggered the gunman to escape. While officers combed the area for the gunman, he vanished in the air. We understand that while the school's surveillance camera were on, they were not recording. Today when we visited the area, we were able to see that the front and sides of the school's campus is fenced properly. However, the back area of the school where a new building was inaugurated 3 years ago is not fenced and gives free access to anyone wanting to enter the school's grounds. The administration of the school declined comment today, but the principal did tell us via WhatsApp that, quote, "We made sure that our employees' security and health is our #1 priority. We have informed the proper authorities and we have put measures in place to mitigate these unfortunate events from happening again," unquote. This morning, 26-year-old Orange Walk resident Barkley Allen, who is being accused of burning down his grandmother's house in Orange Walk, was arraigned in the Belize City Magistrates Court for arson, harm, and breach of protection order. From the onset, Senior Magistrate Baja Showman ordered a psychiatric evaluation for Barkley, who is said to be mentally ill. At today's proceeding, Allen was read the offenses and no plea taken from him. Allegations are that on Thursday, February 16, 2023, Barkley intentionally torched the property of 61-year-old Bernadette Allen, valued at $12,000. As the 61-year-old managed to escape from the flames by cutting her way out of the home, Barkley is accused of attacking her. Bail was denied and Barkley was remanded into custody at the Belize Central Prison pending the evaluation. A warrant was also prepared for Allen for 4 previous convictions for which he is in debt to the court, including threatening words for which he was fined $205, possession of a controlled drug for which he was fined $105, harm and handling stolen goods for which he was fined $1,005. When asked if he recalled the convictions, Allen told the senior magistrate he has no knowledge of them, and as such he will serve the fines in prison term. Data from the most recent monthly Consumer Price Index (CPI) survey conducted by the Statistical Institute of Belize showed that in January 2023, the all-item CPI stood at 112.4, up from 105.4 in January 2022. This indicates that the country saw an overall national inflation rate of 6.6% on goods and services that are typically bought by Belizean households. The primary driver of this increase was the food and non-alcoholic beverages category, which once again counted for over half of the national inflation rate as food prices continue to rise rapidly. This was followed by transport, which was responsible for almost 1/3 of the inflation recorded for the month of January, with fuel prices remaining higher than they were in the same month of 2022. The report shows that in January 2023, prices for food and non-alcoholic beverages were 15.3% higher than they were in January of 2022. The largest increase recorded for this category since late 2008, as food prices continue to rise at an accelerating rate. The subcategory of food alone had an inflation rate of 17.9%, with considerably higher prices being seen across almost all basic food items. In the area of transport, costs rose by 9.3% in January 2023, primarily due to higher prices for motor vehicle fuels, with both diesel and premium gasoline up considerably compared to January 2022. Additionally, prices for passenger transport services were 14.6% higher than they were in January of last year, reflecting higher bus, taxi, sea, and air fares, while prices for new motor vehicles were up by 5.2%. Among the municipalities, the highest rate of increase in consumer prices for January 2023 was seen in Independence Village, with an inflation rate of 9%. Residents of this community experienced greater than average price increases for various food items, taxi fares, restaurant services, laundry products, soaps, detergents, and personal hygiene products. On the other hand, Belmopan had the lowest inflation rate of 4.6%, with consumers in this city experiencing lower than average increases in prices for food items, taxi fares, and restaurant services. The last time Belize was engaged in completing a report of our national resources was back in 2010, that is 13 years ago. However, the environment has changed over the last decade, and with that, policies and laws have also been updated to ensure longevity and safety of our natural resources. The entire process is known as the State of the Environment Report, GeoBelize. And today, during the launching of the consultation process, a wide number of stakeholders were present in order for the report to be comprehensive, intersectoral, participatory, and multidisciplinary in order to encapsulate the inputs of experts on the ground and in so doing identify environmental challenges and options for action.
We're here to discuss information in terms of environmental data. All right, the purpose of us meeting today is actually to sit, discuss, and come up with a plan to basically guide the development of the GEO report. And the GEO report is essential for the country because it basically gives the government and in fact the general population a sense of the environmental health of where we are. So in my earlier intervention, I mentioned that it's like a scorecard for natural resources management organizations such as the Department of Environment. It basically tells us where we are with the implementation of our policies, etc. This will give us a better idea of where we are now, considering all the changes that has happened within the environment, and also with regards to all of the policies and legislation that has changed. Again, we have a new Ministry of Blue Economy, and so the Ministry of Blue Economy was not considered, and the policies that they have was not considered in the first GEO report. Right? There is update to the environmental regulations. There are updates to several policies. The mangrove regulation was updated. The fisheries regulation was updated. And so that has changed. But also the physical environment in itself has changed due to all of the development that has been going on. And so if we continue to do a report like this, it will begin to develop a trend in terms of how Belize is developing and the state of the environment as it relates to that development. We are teaming up with the University of Belize. So the lecturers at the University of Belize are the one who will basically put this report together. Again, the report also has a benefit in terms of reference document. So if any student or anybody in Belize wants to data on the environment, they could go back to this document, take the information from this document and use it the way they need. One of the presenters mentioned that one of the challenges in Belize is actually data sourcing and the retrieval of data, especially when it comes to development of project proposal for environmental related issues. So when you develop a proposal requesting funds to implement an environmental project, you need sound scientific environmental data to justify what you want to do and why you need the fund. This document will provide a good reference point for that.
This initiative is being spearheaded by the Department of the Environment, DOE, in partnership with the United Nations Environment Program, UNEP, and the University of Belize, UB. Today, the Program Management Officer of the United Nations Environment Program, Javier Neem, told us about his involvement in the GEO report for Belize, which is financed by UNEP.
You know, Latin America and the Caribbean is a very dynamic region in terms of environmental changes. So there are some topics like land degradation, ecosystem loss, biodiversity exploitation, climate change, demographic growth are main pressures for the environment. So it's very good that the government has decided to conduct this analysis so far to see what has changed in the last years, where are we going to identify trends, and most importantly, what can be done to revert some negative environmental trends. We are working specifically pointed to create a document, a report, which is a crystallized ending of a whole process, a very integrated and enriching process. We're also working in providing or reshaping the national platform for environmental information, which is going to allow the citizens to conduct real online information regarding environmental dimension of the country, the most important topics of environmental agenda. We expect to have this ready for this year, if I'm not wrong, and we have started today a new phase of the project, which is to open to main stakeholders for validation, for comments, for adjustments, and then once we reach definitions and agreements, start working in the documents and the platform for the information. Our organization is a leading World Environment Agency, and we are supporting since 1990 the elaboration of these reports, both at global, regional, and national levels. In this case, we're assisting technically and financially the country of Belize, in the updating of their report, which was previous version was done 13 years ago. We are assisting them in the update and the re-elaboration, reshaping of that national integrated environmental report.
After the consultation process, the report will be written by the University of Belize. Dr. Apolonio Aguilar, Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology at UB, elaborated more on the institution's involvement.
We're excited that we can take part in this. We have, not only are we going to be producing this, but we're going to help to see what the gaps are. We are excited in the sense that we are knowing these gaps, we are preparing ourselves in terms of research to be able to fill these gaps so that we can help to see what the bigger picture is. Faculty tend to involve the students in all of these efforts. So students, they end up going out into the field, they take part in that data collection. We benefit in that the data is collected for these reports, but the students also get the experience in the processes for this. So our students, once they have graduated, they have now gotten that experience and can go out there into the field and in industry to help collect more data.
Some of the stakeholders present today included the University of Belize, Belize Audubon Society, Belize Water Services, Oceana, the National Met Service Office, among others. The report is expected to be completed by 2025. Coming up next, National Volleyball Competition brings economic movement in Orange Walk. Stay tuned.
¿Quieres dinero rápido por tus prendas de oro? Entonces aprovecha de los grandes préstamos y empeños de oro en Monica's Pawn Shop. Nuestra baja tasa garantizada de solo el 10% en todas las joyas de empeño. Eso no es todo. También empeñamos televisores, compramos chatarra de oro y puede empeñar su vehículo y aún continuar conduciéndolo. Visite Monica's Pawn Shop en nuestra ubicación en Ciudad Belice, número 128 Cemetery Road, en Ciudad Belmopan, en el número 5 Garden Plaza y en el municipio de Orange Walk, en número 2 Belize Carousel Road. Llámenos al 207-0970 y obtenga más dinero por sus joyas de oro.
¡Es hoy! ¡Por fin es hoy!
A rodar. ¡Esto va a estar bueno!
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
LG dual inverter compressor cools air faster by operating at speeds as high as 120 Hz with more stability compared to conventional models. It also saves up to 70% more energy by operating at speeds as low as 10 Hz with more stability. It reduces torque vibration down to 40% for quiet outdoor unit operation. Stable operation with low vibrations also results in increased durability.
Viewers may remember that in a cabinet release issued on January 19, 2022, the government of Belize approved amendments to Section 33, 1B, C, and D of the Plastic Regulation, enacting new effective dates for the phase-out of single-use plastic in Belize. In January 2022, the government of Belize first announced that importing prohibited plastic was no longer permitted. However, in the press release issued out in January last year, the Present administration indicated that the date that has been set for the manufacturing of such products to cease is January 31st, 2022, while the sales of such products must end by 28th of February 2022, and possession of such products will become an offense by March 31st, 2022. The amended legislation seeks to address the issue of widespread waste and the environmental impact caused by the use of environmentally unfriendly single-use plastic across the country. The chief environmental officer was questioned about an ongoing issue about new products found and claimed to be environmentally friendly in Western Belize. He says the department is collecting data across the country.
We haven't really honed in on the exact company that is bringing it in illegally, but we are still conducting our investigation. But in terms of the overall activity that we are doing with regards to the assessment, we have collected samples of registered biodegradable products countrywide. I think this week we will send those out to a laboratory in the United States to get tested, and then when we get back the results, we will be able to determine if the biodegradable products that are being implemented are really biodegradable and if they meet our national standards. So that will be the first step. We are doing two things. We're doing a market surveillance, and we're grabbing samples of some of the products to be tested. The market surveillance is still not yet completed. When it's completed, it will give us a good picture of what is in the market, the restricted products and some of the prohibited products that are still available. So we are still seeing some prohibited products, and then we'll develop a plan in terms of how to deal with those.
We know that the single-use plastics are those intended for one-time use before being disposed of. Tonight, one of the largest high schools in Orange Walk is in celebratory mood. The reason? Well, to place it easy, the Orange Walk Technical High School girls secured the National Secondary School Sports Association's football championship. The team won in a 2-0 game against St. Ignatius High School, hailing from Santa Elena. As much as St. Ignatius tried, it was not enough to drill out the ball from the girls of Orange Walk Technical High School. The game was played in Ambergris Key at the San Pedro High School. Today we caught up with the team captain at her school's campus, who told us how exciting the experience was, how it has changed their perspective about football.
I mean, it was good. Like, we had a lot of communication and leadership, sportsmanship, and I mean, it was good.
What did your team do in order to secure the win?
I mean, we practiced a lot. We tried to do better and better every practice we had, and always tried to learn a little bit more towards the sports. All of us were proud of each other because all of us did great. I was proud from all of the girls because we learned a lot. Even though a lot of us didn't have that experience when we started playing, but a lot of us played good, and I'm proud of all of the girls.
And I'm sure that there was a best moment for you. What was that best moment?
When the ref whistled for us to be declare us champions from nationals, and we are also champions from regionals.
And indeed, Elva Nunes and her team did as their school motto stipulates, Veni Vidi Vici, which is Latin to be translated as I came, I saw, I conquered. Nunes was selected as the most valuable player.
I feel very proud of myself and my teammates, and we really worked hard for the win, and I'm glad we got it.
What is it from your team that made you win?
The motivation and the hard work.
And what about the involvement of your teachers, parents, friends?
Yeah, they supported me a lot, and I'm very thankful for them.
What would you tell those who want to join the team next year?
That they should try it. It's a very good experience, and they can reach very far.
In a first-time experience as coach is Alexiko, who says that his expectations were superseded and the results of the tournament would not have taken a better route.
Well, this started a long time ago. I think we started practicing in the month of November, and it was every Monday, every Wednesday, and sometimes throughout the entire week practicing hard with those girls. One thing that we must applaud was their motivation. They never complained. They were always willing to practice, so it's a big win for them. We were just there guiding them.
Okay. What are some of the learning experiences that you take away from coaching this year?
Well, it was my first experience as a coach. First time dealing with girls, coaching girls, and it was awesome, and I can't complain about those girls. They showed us and taught us a lot as well. Some players got injured. We lost a very important key player to our defense, but we always managed to find how to work things, and those girls are always there supporting us as well.
Your thoughts when you knew that you had secured the win with your team, what were your thoughts during that precise moments?
Well, happiness. That's all we can say. Happiness, because we saw how those girls fought that game. It was very sunny. It was hot, but those girls managed to make a big win that day. So it was everything goes for them. Like how I already told all of those girls, we are ready to defend the championship coming next year. So we have a lot of work to do if we want to be national champions again.
Securing the second place was St. Ignatius High School for this year's National Secondary School Sport Association's Football Championship. Celebrations have been happening across northern Belize in commemoration of Juan Carnaval, a very polemic character that uses good looks to conquer women. Last night, in honor of the tradition and to keep the heritage alive, the Village Council of San Esteban had an epic evening with families and friends. We spoke to the chair of the village, who told us how it all went down.
You know that Juan Carnaval is a traditional event, right? And San Esteban had been very popular when it comes to Juan Carnaval. Everybody knows us for that. And it's been a while that we haven't been doing it. And we have a family, the Munoz family. They are the ones that are, the ones that are the pioneers in this event, along with one of our late Mr. Mamerto Medina. So we try to bring it back, revive it, because we need to pass on our traditions to our children. We want our children to also know and experience Juan Carnaval.
The first Juan Carnaval that it is being celebrated under the supervision of the chair lady of the village, who says that her objective was met.
Well, this is my first year as chairperson in the San Esteban village, and that's the reason why I'm trying to not only inculcate education and sports in the village, but also bring back the cultural traditions in the village.
Now, please tell us, how was it the evening in San Esteban for Juan Carnaval?
The evening was awesome. We expected 2 groups to be partaking in this event, but eventually we had 3 groups coming in. We had a group from BHSA and we had a group from Caledonia competing with the San Esteban group. So it was awesome. It was amazing. I believe that the villagers are very grateful for the event. Everybody had fun, and we culminated with the burning of Juan, which is traditional as well. I loved seeing people enjoying themselves. I love them clapping and rejoicing for this event. I'm pretty sure that that's what really fills my heart, that my village is very grateful for this event.
Don Juan's last will and testament was read to those present, and to symbolize the end of the festival, the effigy or mannequin of Don Juan was burned with the belief that not doing so would bring bad luck to the entire village.
They believe, right, in the tradition that if you don't burn Juan, then bad luck could happen in the village. So we try to follow the whole tradition.
Okay. So that means good things is going to be coming up to San Esteban.
Yes, we expect great things. And when they read Juan's testament, we got good money. So the herencia was really good.
Tell us now about the winners, who placed first, second, and third, and what they won.
Okay. First, we had San Esteban group winning, and they won $500. Then second place, we had BHSA, and they won $300. And third place, we had Caledonia winning $200. And all this money was given by the villagers. We had the villagers sponsoring along with the village council.
It is proper to remember that in the past, every night for 1 week before the commencement of Carnival, there was an event known as Los Mascarados. Men disguised as evil people, the devil, wicked priest, and the sorcerers came out to dance the streets of the village, causing panic unto the children who tried to get home before the mascarados caught them. This event signaled the beginning of Carnival on Sábado de Bando. Volleyball teams from primary schools across the country are preparing for the highly anticipated nationals, which will take place after 2 years of hiatus due to COVID-19. The National Primary School Volleyball Championship will be held at the Orange Walk Multipurpose Complex on Friday, February 24, 2023, under the auspices of the Ministry of Youth and Sports and the National Sports Council.
Our hallmark at the National Sports Council is the primary school games, which is something that the National Sports Council does yearly. We engage the different schools across the country. There are over 300 plus different schools across the country, which we engage And these schools put up their teams to compete against each other in the respective districts. We have held that. We have been doing that over a couple months, where each district has its own competition, and then they have their finals, and each district has now finalized that. And now they have two teams that will represent each district from across the country, both male and female, because we are also female inclusive, and we ensure that we include females to participate in every discipline that we engage in as well. So now you will find out that this Friday, across the country, students will be traveling to Orange Walk to participate in the finals, in the nationals on the volleyball competition. So you will see teams from all the districts, both male and female represented, to compete. And somebody will come up with a championship, both males and females, this coming Friday at Orange Walk.
With so many students and parents descending upon Orange Walk, an economic impact is expected, says Ian Kal, Director of the National Sports Council.
You will have about 12 to 13 teams participating there at Orange Walk, but then again, they will come with their support. They will come with their school support, and they will come with their parent support. So the amount of people that will be going to Orange Walk this Friday for the nationals will be intense. And it creates some type of economic activity as well in the respective districts. And that is what we are trying to aim whenever we go to the different districts. You create that economic boost together with the town council and the sports council and so forth.
While this time around the winning team will receive bragging rights and trophies, the Sports Council is looking to collaborate with the Ministry of Education to broaden the prize package.
The ministry is looking at areas where we can collaborate again with the Ministry of Education. Right now, we are not at that point, but next year we want to ensure that when the kids they win some type of scholarship for the young people. We went into negotiations for the national basketball tournaments when it comes to that, where the kids got that opportunity. However, right now we're coming into a new budget year. So into the next budget year, that is what we want to implement. We couldn't implement it this year because of budgetary constraints, and then we started up a little bit late with the primary school games because of the COVID situation. But at this point, it's basically the same way how it has been done every year: bragging rights, medals, trophies, and so forth. But what we want to do next year is the partnership that we want to do with the Ministry of Education and Health and Wellness as well, because it has to do with health and wellness as well. The how kids stay active. The amount of money that is spent on health every year for diabetes and so forth, that we can save a lot of money by investing in our young people in sports. One of the highlights that will be coming along is that the teachers, the people who train these teams at the respective schools would get some type of recognition and training as well to get certified in the respective discipline that they teach.
As mentioned, the finals for the competition will take place at the complex here in Orange Walk. The government of Belize recently tabled and passed 3 loan motions to advance the Plan Belize development agenda, and on February 21st, 2023, Prime Minister John Briceño met with the President of the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB, to sign the agreements. The 3 development programs include a loan motion for trade and investment facilitation, program for Belize for $8 million, a program for digital innovation to boost economic development in Belize for $10 million, and a program for sustainable and inclusive Belize at $15 million loan to assist micro, small, and medium enterprises. As a value development partner, the IDB has made significant contributions to Belize across economic sectors such as tourism, agriculture, services, infrastructure, education, and health, among others, through its loans, grants, and technical assistance programs, as noted by PM Briceño. These new agreements are expected to support the country's efforts towards sustainable and inclusive development, digital innovation, and trade and investment facilitation. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Thursday, February 23rd here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at CTV3BelizeNews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at Facebook.com/CTV3 facebook.com/CTV3 Belize News or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News VZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.